Hey everyone, it's Julia here at Yarnspirations. I'm here with Gail, one of our designers, and today we're going to be talking about our Let's Make a Difference charity lookbook. We also have a special surprise. We're going to be doing a live Facebook giveaway. We have two big yarn prizes to give away today, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a minute. But Gail here is one of our talented designers. How long have you been designing for Yarnspirations?
For Yarnspirations, probably about 12, 13 years, but I've had a long career in knitting.
Yeah.
Almost 30 years now. Like
Wow.
I started right after I finished college, so
yeah.
it's it was a passion all my life, and I'm really fortunate to have it as a career. So.
Yeah, we got to sit down with Nicole last week, and it's so nice to be able to talk to the designers and get your insight into what goes into the patterns and the thought process behind the designs.
Right.
Samantha says hi from Oregon. We're so excited to have you here. Feel free to give us a shout from where you guys are watching from. We love to see where everyone is. Yeah, so when did you start knitting and crocheting?
I was about 6 or 7. My grandma taught me how to knit first, and then I started playing around with my fingers and taught myself to crochet with my hands, and so she gave me a hook. So I really didn't do a lot of it until I was in high school, and then I explored it a lot more. Mm-hmm. I studied fashion design after high school and thought at first I would do the traditional fashion design path, but ended up being able to get into knitting.
Yeah.
And keeping hand knitting. I tried a lot of machine knitting stuff, but hand knitting is just sort of my realm. And I'm really fortunate to work for a great company. Spinrite has been really supportive, and it's a wonderful kind of universe of yarn we're in. So.
Do you find a lot of people, when they're learning, usually start with knitting? I feel like knitting is something that is often taught to younger people by their mothers or grandmothers.
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends who your, the matriarch is who's teaching you. My grandmother just happened to really knit a lot. She didn't crochet a lot, so that was just how I landed on knitting. And I also think Canadians kind of tend to knit more than crochet. So, but because we're a North American company, we need that sort of general language on both sides. So we almost do more crochet than knitting now. And it's a faster way to get a project done. It's incredibly versatile, and it's really fun because the stitches are sort of endless.
So with our Let's Make a Difference lookbook that we're talking about today, now we can let you guys know a bit more about our giveaway. You're going to get a prize package of all of the yarn that we use in the lookbook, one of each kind of the yarn, and we're doing 2 giveaways. So all you have to do is comment on the video to enter. So feel free to comment away, let us know where you're watching from, which patterns you love. Hit the love button or the like button when you see a pattern you like.
Amazing.
So let's talk a little bit about the patterns.
Yeah, well, the concept here is Let's Make a Difference, which is a bunch of projects that are charity based, meaning we're hoping to inspire people to make them if they're in a group who do a lot of charity knitting, or if you're just someone who loves to actually, constantly produce and you need a venue to kind of keep going and sending your projects to people who really need them, and just sort of sharing your love of craft. So we've got a variety of stuff. We started with some baby things. Here's a shot of a few of the baby projects, because we know charity for baby is hugely popular. Like most hospitals will have like a little gift shop where they'll sell handmade items. This little knit set is a really sort of quick garter stitch top down, so there's no seams, which is really an efficient way to kind of crank out sweaters. We did it in 3 sizes. I think this is like the middle size, so there's a smaller size and a larger, and then the little bunny hat to match. Now you could just do the hat, because hats are always needed at hospitals for preemie babies, newborns. Yeah, baby hats are sort of one of the most popular charity or gift knit items. And what's unique about a lot of the projects in the book is we use large put up.
Yeah.
If you want to grab like that softy baby ball,
The baby sport?
Yeah. Baby sport, sorry, yeah. You can see it's a giant ball. So one of these balls, depending on what size sweater set you're making, probably will make 2 or 3 complete sets. So it's an amazing way to do multiple projects and just sort of keep going. And a lot of times once you get a great project in your head, you don't really necessarily have to be glued to the pattern. Once you've made it a few times, you kind of know the basics of it, and it's just sort of a pleasure to sit and knit, watch TV, and make something that you know is going to have such a wonderful end use.
Yeah.
And then it's an economical way to just do a lot of projects.
I like the idea of doing a baby sweater, especially if you have never done a sweater before, because it's a really great way to learn how to like shape the sleeve. And I know these are top down, but it seems like a little less daunting for a first sweater than if you were doing a big
absolutely
size.
Yeah. And you know, a project like this little crochet jacket, you can easily do in one sitting. You know, it's probably only like 20-30 rows at most of crocheting.
And it's double crochet too, which
so
is so
very
fast.
Quick. Yeah, and then the hat's single crochet with the little bear ears.
I love the ears.
And this again, you can easily make maybe even 2 a night, depending on the size. And once you get going, like I said, once you've memorized how your increase repeats go, it's simple to keep going.
Yeah. Okay, we've got a question from the audience.
Laura is asking if the bunny hat is in the round or flat.
Oh, good question. It actually does have a seam. Now the reason we did that is because it's garter stitch. It's a lot easier to kind of knit every row than have to knit, purl, alternate to do garter in the round. And it just meant shaping and sizing it was a little simpler if we had the back seam. But if you do that nice mattress stitch seam,
you barely see it.
And it's important when you're doing baby seams, which is actually a good point, to keep the seams as flat as you can, because you know the tender baby
skin,
which is another reason we did these seamless sweaters from the top down for new babies.
So again, for a chance to win the yarn to make those projects as part of our big giveaway, just comment for an entry and let us know what you guys think. We've also got another blanket here. It's a baby blanket.
Yeah, and again, this is the kind of stitch work that after you've made 1 or 2, you would get this stitch repeat in your head. It's like a 2 or 4 row repeat.
Yeah, so easy.
And it's got a nice open work. So this is a really practical baby for a blanket for any baby. You know, you can do it a neutral for boy or girl. It's an unfussy blanket, so it's a perfect gift.
We got another question from the audience.
Jennifer's asking where you can get the patterns.
Oh, right now they're all online on yarnspiration.com. So if you go to our website, you'll see this image, and you can just click on the links for this book.
Yeah, we've got the PDF on there, so you can click through and see all the beautiful photography, as well as all of the pattern PDFs and lots of YouTube tutorials and videos for you to learn from. So hit that love button if you love our lookbooks. If you've seen this one already, it came out on Tuesday. So it's been out for a few days.
Just looking for this.
We don't have that.
We don't have this blanket. This is a lovely, this is sort of the knit version of that lacy crochet one we were just looking at. And this baby is a special baby. That's one of our other designers who's on maternity leave right now, and that's her baby Ivy.
So cute.
Yeah, so it's fun. And here's, speaking of beloved family members.
It's my own baby.
That's your baby.
My cat modeled this beautiful cat blanket here, as well as our cat toys. His name's Charlie, and I love him very much.
Yeah, and the dog is a special family member for Magda.
Who's reading the questions today.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's behind the scenes. The little cat toy, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, they're really cute. It's knit and it's seamed, right?
Yes, and this would be like a beginner project. So even if you say you just taught your child to knit, even like a 5-6-year-old who just learned how to knit could manage this, because it's very forgiving. If your gauge isn't perfect, it's fine. So basically you just knit some ribbing, a bunch of plain stocking stitch and then ribbing again, and then where the ribbing and stocking stitch join, you gather it up.
So
And you
with some
put a little
polyfill.
stuffing.
Yeah.
And if you want, some catnip.
Definitely. Catnip, I feel like for my cat would be much appreciated. But I guess if these are for donating to charity, you'd probably want to check with your local Humane Society to make sure that catnip is an okay addition to the cat treats.
For sure.
But I think the animal projects are a really nice addition to the charity lookbook, because often, you know, the local Humane Society or the pound is overlooked, and those animals need that comfort and that love and a blanket that smells like them, and it's something that is really, really appreciated if you take the time to donate, and they're always looking for things like this.
For sure. I think the blankets especially, but they're also really practical just if you have a pet of your own.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially the bed.
Yeah, hoist it up. It's a big animal bed, but
the bed here.
Definitely one of my favorite projects.
We used Shetland Chunky.
Softy Chunky.
Sorry, yeah, Softy Chunky. Thanks. And we doubled it, so we get this sort of nice, dense, really durable fabric. And you can use quilt batting, you know, the kind of stuff that you would buy by the yard that's probably like about an inch or two thick, and then you could layer that, just cut it into a circle, and then we covered a big button with some crochet.
Yeah, you can see that there.
To sort of keep it all in place, and then there's an edge around to make sort of a nice little cozy
spot. Yeah, so nice.
It's then after we've covered babies and pets. We move into some stuff to use around your house, and one of the really great blankets we did, which I think is a wonderful project because it's completely portable. It's a great way to show off some of your favorite colors. So, I mean, you can go bright and graphic the way this is. You could go more subtle with like a softer gray and a lighter cream, and then some more pastel-y. It just has a really nice punchy graphic design. But each of these motifs are worked corner to corner, and it's just the way the chart that assembles it will show you how it tilts to create this kind of really fun pinwheely effect, and it's called Tilt-A-Whirl. Probably this was Nicole's design, who was with you last week. One of my favorites from the book for sure. And
it's so nice, especially around the holidays, to be donating things like this to families in need. Something really lovely that they can bring home with them for the holidays. That's really warm and comforting.
But it's also just a great project. Yeah. Like I said, so versatile.
We got another question from the audience.
So Laura is asking if you can play with the sizing of the pet bed.
Oh yeah, it comes in, I believe, 3 or 4 sizes already, because it's worked just rounds and rounds. If you want to adjust, like say you make the large and you feel like it's still not large enough, you can just continue the sequence of increasing and make it a couple rounds wider.
And I guess because you're cutting the cotton batting to fit inside, you can adjust that as well.
Yeah. I think the size that we were holding up is like the medium, so there was one smaller and then there's definitely another one larger.
For those Great Danes.
Yeah, but just make sure you buy enough yarn.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So once again, for anyone who's just tuning in, we're talking about our charity lookbook. It's called Let's Make a Difference. Comment where you guys would love to, or where you choose to donate your charity patterns to, and every comment that we get, you can you're entered into a prize to win these amazing yarn packs, which there's 2 prizes to be won, and we're going to be announcing the winner tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So hit that love button if you love our lookbook and you are excited to win the yarn, and let's keep talking about patterns.
Yeah, now another thing we thought was important to include in the lookbook were what we call lap blankets, or they're just sort of smaller blankets, and actually they're the perfect size, like if you're just sitting watching TV, you just need something cozy, you don't necessarily need a full-size Afghan. So we did a couple designs, a crochet one and a knit one. This is the knit one, which is interesting because this stitch is completely reversible, which is really nice for a blanket.
It's so rare with knit too. Usually the wrong side and the right side are very different.
So we just thought it was kind of a nice added interest to know, doesn't matter how you throw it on the couch or how you wear it, it'll look great both ways. And again, it's the kind of stitch, it makes sense as you're going, and after doing a few repeats, you'll definitely have it ingrained and you won't have to keep looking at your pattern.
Do we have any comments from the audience?
Catherine had a good comment. She said she would do the tilt-a-whirl blanket in her son's college colors.
Perfect.
Oh, that's so smart. Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
I feel like that would be a nice gift to send your kid off to college with as well.
For sure.
Something for their dorm room.
Yeah. The other thing we thought was important to include are comfort shawls or prayer shawls in this book, because we know that's been a really popular thing for years. So we did a knit one and a crochet one. This is the crochet one. It's also available now as a tutorial. If you go online, you'll find a link for the tutorial for this. It's a great project because you begin right up here and then you just keep growing. So it's almost like you won't want to put it down, because it's just fun to get to this point. Oh, that's where I change the color, and then this is where I go into this other stitch.
Yeah, I love this kind of scalloped edging along the bottom.
Yeah, and if you look online, you'll see people have done it in other colors, and it looks great in any kind of 3 colors, or you could do it obviously all in one shade.
So can you tell us a little bit more about prayer shawls and why they're so popular?
Well, the idea originally for them was to make someone a shawl and gift it to them, and you know, as you're creating it, every stitch has the intent of love and, you know, especially healing. Like originally a lot of prayer shawls were given to people recovering from cancer or some other kind of critical illness. So the idea was, you know, I've put all my love into this, I've thought about, you know, your recovery and your wellness as I made it, and, you know, gift it to the person. But they're also just a really lovely thing to wear, you know, in a hospital or whenever you just sort of need an extra layer of warmth. But this design, I mean, doesn't really scream, you know, hospital so much as it's just a really elegant, nice project.
Yeah, I love the colors. This one's done in Karen Simply Soft,
right,
which is one of our favorite yarns. It's so versatile for garments or accessories like this, all the way to, you know, we've got this amazing dog coat here, which is also done in Simply Soft. So this is going to be included, Karen Simply Soft, in the prize giveaway that we're giving away tomorrow. We're going to be announcing the winners at 2 p.m.
Right.
So tune into our Facebook page. Just comment on the video to enter into the draw, and we're giving away 2 huge prizes of yarn. They're 12 balls each, and all of the yarns featured in our lookbook. So you'll have the opportunity to play around with some of the patterns in the yarn that was designed for them, or that they were designed for.
Right. Yeah. The other thing, Simply Soft come in so many shades. I mean, it's an endless way to mix and match.
So for the charity lookbook, we've done one before. We've done them before. We had one last year. We try and do them once a year. Can you tell us about the inspiration behind the lookbooks?
In general, or just charity lookbooks?
Charity lookbooks in general, and also the designs that we have today.
Well, I think as I was saying, people just love, you know, people who love to constantly be knitting and crocheting. Sometimes you run out of people to gift to, and you have plenty of blankets of your own at home. So it's a wonderful way to kind of keep in love with your craft and share, you know, things made really with so much care and love. And it's also a good way to stretch your skills, because sometimes you could choose a project, you know, maybe I've never done that kind of scalloped edge on that shawl. Let's try it, you know, and what have you got to lose? Because there's no pressure. It's going to be a charity project anyway, and, you know, it's a wonderful way to learn some new techniques. So we know this time of year, also spring going into summer, people are looking for portable projects. They're looking for things to do at the cottage or when they're on vacation.
Yeah.
So this type of charity kind of collection is wonderful for that.
I know that when I'm at home and, you know, I don't have any whips that I'm working on right now for myself, I still feel that need to always have something on the go, you know, when I'm watching TV or just winding down after a long day. So I find I'll sometimes start a project that I don't even really plan on finishing, just so that I have something to work on. So if you want to, if you know you want something to be working on that you aren't planning on doing for yourself, charity is a really great way to kind of stay busy. And
yeah, I mean, I've done lots of charity baby hats. I love, because like I was saying, in one night you can do one or two, and it's such a great feeling of achievement.
If you guys have any patterns that you fell in love with today, feel free to comment and hit the love button or the like button. We always love hearing what you guys have picked out as your favorite from the lookbooks, and where you think you'll be donating them to at the end.
Right, I was going to mention where I live. I know the library, my local library, there's a group every month who get together and do charity knitting. So that could be a place to start if you're not sure. Where do people do charity knitting?
Yeah, you could go to the library, take out an audiobook, sit down, do a little stitching, and have something to give away at the end.
Great.
So once again, yeah, we're doing the giveaway. Oh, I lost a ball. So just comment for a chance to win, and we're really excited to do the random draw tomorrow. Even if you're watching this after the live video's ended, you can still comment and you'll still be entered into the draw. And you can still ask any questions you have after the video's ended, and we'll answer them as they come in, absolutely.
Great,
yeah.
Thanks, Julia.
Yeah, and also tune in next week. We're doing the another video next Friday with the Crochet crowd. We're doing an interview with them, so if you have any questions for them, feel free to leave them in the comments and we'll save them for them. I know that those guys are so fun to talk to, and I think it'll be a really fun interview.
Great.
So we'll see you next week, and thanks for tuning in. So happy stitching. Bye.
Bye-bye.